You want to be on top? Na, 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 na.
You want to be
You want to be on top?
Oh God, it's not.
I don't know the
The
singing.
singing is not good.
We tried.
We tried. Well, okay. If you didn't get the hint, today's episode is all about Reality Check Inside America's Next Top Model, the documentary that came out on Netflix. Oh wait, maybe I should just do my full intro now. Okay, actually, I'm a little self-conscious about the way that I do the intro now that Sarah has been like, you use like a different voice.
Oh, are you in like meeting mode? Work Ruchi
Exactly.
mode?
Yeah, I'm like corporate Ruchi when I do my intro. So now I'm like, how do I be more genial and more authentic when I do this intro? Which is like,
I don't think you sound corporate when you do the intro. It just sounds like you're reading something, which you are, which is fine.
I am,
It's
yeah.
the summary of the show, so I think it's fine.
Let me try doing it without sounding like I'm reading something.
Okay.
This is gonna be great. Okay. Yappers, let me know if this is better or worse than what I normally do. All right. Today's episode is all about Reality Check Inside America's Next Top Model, which is a Netflix documentary series that came out on February 12th, 2026. I said 6th.
It's okay, I can edit the end of that out.
This is what happens when I don't read and I try to just remember. I just say dumb words. This is why I read. Okay, anyway, the documentary covers the extensive run from 2003 to 2018 of the reality competition series America's Next Top Model, and features interviews from the show's host, Tyra Banks, as well as Nigel Barker and Miss J Alexander, as well as J Manuel, the J's.
As well as some of the contestants.
Okay. Yeah, as well as some of the contestants. But not all, and not the most prevalent, I will say. Just a quick note, trigger warning for this episode, since we will be talking a little bit about sexual assault that happens in the show. If you or someone you know is struggling, you are not alone. You can find information on how to support at wannatalkaboutit.com. Cool. Okay, well, my biggest question to you, Shalini, is Tyra a villain?
Oh my God, absolutely. How can you come away from this show, this docuseries, and not think she's a villain? I think she has extreme narcissistic personality disorder.
You know who didn't think Tyra was a villain? Tyra.
Don't say your sister. Oh my God.
My sister.
Okay, the only reason I said that is because she's the only person that I know has watched the show that you had told me about.
That's true. Yeah, no. I think, even my sister would be like, this bitch is crazy.
Good, glad to hear it.
So the way I asked that question is because I knew that you would say yes, but I also wanted to know to what extent.
Listen, I will say, I do think she did a lot for the modeling industry. I think her show brought more racial diversity to modeling. I think it brought more body types to modeling, or like maybe more awareness around different body types modeling. Like they said in the show, plus size models did not exist before America's Next Top Model. And so I think she had good intentions, and I do think like what Danielle said in one of her interviews was true, was that like she started off with good intentions and then she just kind of lost it. And
Yeah.
I feel like we see that with so many celebrities actually that end up too successful, or like get successful too quickly, and they just like forget the vision and they forget their roots and they forget everything. So I think Tyra suffered from that, but I must say it was a really fun show to watch in the times. I am a millennial and I think I've seen most of the seasons. But yeah, obviously extremely problematic. and
Yeah,
she
for
took
sure.
zero accountability for anything she did in that show.
For sure, yeah. I love how everyone online is just like straight up roasting her because she's like, "Oh, I didn't have that much creative control. I wasn't a producer." And then they cut to the credits where it was like executive producer Tyra Banks.
Dude, I can't believe she and Ken Mock agreed to be in this docu-series. I think they thought it was going to be very different than what it was because this series ripped them apart.
Yeah. So one thing that I saw online, there was some I think there was an ANTM winner who's like an influencer on like TikTok and Instagram or whatever, and she was posting about how she was not in the documentary because Tyra had complete creative control over the documentary. But then I was like, I don't think the documentary point like portrays Tyra in a very good light. So
No.
I was very confused as to either she didn't have creative control over the documentary or she saw the documentary and was like, yeah, this is great. A plus.
Either way.
So, yeah, so weird. Speaking of Ken Mock, actually, a side note is I actually want to hear more about Ken Mock's story because to be an Asian executive, like TV network executive in those days is also, there's something to be said about his story
Yeah.
too. So if you do look, I agree with you in that if you do look at the diversity of ANTM from the people who are on the shows as judges and the people who are actually creating the shows, including like the network executives, they actually were quite diverse. So
Yeah.
there is something to be said there about like creating a show that maybe started with good intent, but like you said, just lost the plot pretty quickly.
Yes. Yeah. Totally agree. Wait, let's context set for a second. How much of ANTM have you watched?
Oh, yes. So I used to watch it. So, Yappers, I'm a little sister. And as a little sister, you watch everything your big sister does. So she was watching ANTM on MTV. I don't know at what point UPM became MTV.
I
Unclear
don't
about
know.
that. Anyway, so we would watch on MTV and I would be like, "Oh my God, the modeling industry. Oh my God, these ladies." I think I enjoyed watching it. I think I did watch most of the earlier seasons. So I never watched any of the cycles where they're like the Jays weren't present or Tyra
Mm.
wasn't present. I never watched any of those seasons. But I did watch like the meat of the seasons. And one scene that I still do remember from my childhood was I think it was the race swapping one.
Oh my God, yeah.
And yeah, and I remember one of the girls, one of the white girls had to be quote unquote East Indian. And I
Yeah.
remember being confused as to what that meant because I was like, I think it's cool that there's South Asian representation or like Indian representation, but I wonder what East Indian means. Does it mean like east of India? Well, I'm from Mumbai, so that's West India. I was
That
like
ain't me.
confused. Yeah. And I think now I realize that they meant Indian in the East as opposed to
The
Indian
West
Native
Indian.
American.
Oh
Or,
yeah,
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 or
yeah.
West Indies. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that is what they meant.
Yeah, which I was like, I've never seen India described like East India before.
The only place I've seen that is in Pirates of the Caribbean when the tea company is East India Trading Company.
Yes, exactly. It's only referred to as East India by colonizers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so I do remember that scene, but because I was little, I don't remember it being problematic. I think in that moment I was like, "Oh, that's kind of weird that they're race swapping," but love how like India's getting some recognition. That's nice.
Yeah, I don't think I really noticed any problematic things when I was watching it growing up. It's interesting because the people they brought back for this docuseries are some of the ones that were the most memorable for me. Like, I think Shandy, Danielle and Joni, Kenya, um, who else? I think those were the ones that really stood out to me. There were a few others, like Carrie D, I really remember, who was the winner of Cycle 9, I think. And Melrose and who else? But yeah, it was interesting and just like so nice to finally hear their point of view, which totally turned around like how I perceived the show completely. And looking through the lens of 2026, it's like, oh my God, these poor girls. These
Yeah.
poor girls. But
Dude,
yeah.
I was so disgusted watching Shandy's story. I actually didn't remember Shandy at all.
Mm,
Um, I don't think I watched that season, but yeah, when Shandy was talking about her story about what went down in Milan, oh my God, I was so
oh my God.
disgusted. I was like, Tyra, what the hell? This is not cheating. This is assault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So incredibly upsetting. I remember I actually watched that season with our friend Emily in LA, and we like I shouldn't speak for Emily. I did not perceive it at the time as sexual assault at all. Like I think the way that they portrayed it on the show was just like, oh no, she had a little too much to drink and got really promiscuous and cheated on her boyfriend.
Oh my
And
God.
yeah, and, like, it's just so crazy. I was not looking at it with a critical eye, I guess, but, it did not stand out to me as sexual assault, which is insane because hearing back Shandy's story, it's like, of course that's what like, so horrible that this happened to her, and looking back, it's like, why didn't production do something? It's
Yeah.
so horrifying. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's also the power of editing in these reality TV series. And what we
Mhm.
saw later on is like it's all about the story. It's all about this particular narrative. It's not about modeling at all. So I think this is basically one of the earlier examples about how Tyra is now losing the plot and like just trying
Mm,
to make good TV instead of prepare these women for the modeling industry.
yeah.
So,
Which is
yeah,
crazy
I
because
think
that was season 2. So, like, how did she already
yeah, it
lose her
was
vision?
soon. It was like maybe it was like at that point, to be honest. Maybe that's when
Yeah.
like yeah, who knows. And then also even Tyra says in her interview, "Oh, we got so much footage that we didn't show." Like she was doing her a favor and it was like, "No, you didn't show it because it was literally trigger warning. It was literally rape. It was literally sexual
Yeah.
assault."
Yeah, and it was also so odd slash strategic how when they asked Tyra if she remembers Shandy, she was like, I think I remember her. And it's like,
Oh
bitch, you
my
obviously
god.
remember what happened. Like, don't lie. Ugh, so annoying. I actually
Seriously.
wonder if her lawyers were like, you cannot admit to anything, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's not past the statute of limitations, so please don't say anything or something. Because her response was so weird.
It was so weird. Another weird response to Jay when the producer was like, "Hey, do you want to talk about your relationship with Jay Manuel?" And she was like, "Nah, I'll give him a call later." I was like, "What?"
So weird. She
So
is so,
strange.
so odd.
Which, by the way, apparently, the phone call hasn't happened, which, no surprise. But yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Okay, here's another question. Speaking of the Jays, do you think that the Jays slash Nigel Barker, do you think they were villains?
I do think they were because remembering back to the actual show, I think this documentary painted them in a really good light. And I think like it did make more sense to me why they were acting like that on the show. It sounds like there was pressure to treat the girls a certain way from production. And by production I mean Tyra probably and Ken
Mm-hmm.
Mock. And so I do think the Jays just like wanted to be a part of the culture and went along with it. And I believe Jay Manuel that he didn't like having to speak to the girls that way. Actually, I don't know if that's true. I do think he got some pleasure out of it because like you could see him like get some sort of like sick satisfaction by telling girls to shut the fuck up while they were getting their makeovers and stuff, you know? Like
Yeah.
there would always be a girl that would be crying cuz her whatever like extensions were really painful, or like the hair dye was like burning her scalp or something, and then he'd be like, beauty is pain, and if you want to be here, you have to put up with this shit. Like, you're a blank canvas." And
Yeah.
I do think he enjoyed that to an extent. So I think he's skirting a lot of accountability, but I did like that those three, Nigel and the Jays, did take some accountability. Like, at least they weren't like Tyra and just were like, no, I mean, we were product of the time, so.
Yeah. I think it was definitely a mixed bag for them. So I think yes, they took a little bit of accountability, but it was in the
Yeah,
sense of like, you know how, man, I can't believe I'm making this analogy, but you know how in like during the Holocaust, like these Nazi soldiers were like, "Oh, I was just doing my job." It was kind of like that
yeah,
accountability. It was like, "Oh yeah, that was kind of problematic what I was doing, but also orders coming from the top, so can't question that." So it was like it was a little bit of that, which I
yeah,
didn't
yeah,
quite
I
agree
agree.
with. And I also think they kind of came out in a good light because they also got fired. Like Tyra fired them and then leaked it to Page Six. So it's
Yeah.
they were painted in a good light in quotes because of that affront. And also like they're not friends with Tyra anymore. It's pretty obvious.
Yeah. Yeah. I think they came out looking much better than they deserve to from this
Yeah.
docuseries.
Yeah. One thing that I think was super accurate, I think I forget the name of the journalist who they interviewed.
I don't remember her name. Yeah.
I don't remember her name, but there's the journalist that they interviewed who was like doing yeah, she was doing a couple interviews, and one thing that she said, which I was like, oh, that's so accurate. Let me see if I wrote it down. Maybe it was Ebony.
No, Ebony was oh yeah, Ebony was the contestant from season 1.
Oh, okay, never mind, not Ebony. Oh, I can't remember. Anyway, it was she said that while she set out to change the modeling industry, she also ended up upholding the same values as
Mm,
her oppressors,
mm-hmm.
which I think is really true, right? Like she
Yeah.
was like, "Oh yeah, I don't want these models to be beholden to the same like skinniness criteria, or like being a black woman in the modeling industry was this way for me." But then at the same time, she was like, we need to close your tooth gap and you need to stop eating so much and you need to like, yeah, like it's like crazy things that's like,
Yeah.
yeah, the modeling industry is like that, fair, but I thought you created this show to go against those types of
Right.
values. So what's the plan here? And yeah,
I
that's part of like the
know.
whole losing the plot stuff.
I really felt like I felt this while I was watching the show, that she would use the line of "this is how the modeling industry is" when it suited her to manipulate the girls, and then she would use the line of "I'm breaking the boundaries of the modeling industry" when it suited her, and like she would just this is actually I'm quoting, this is a direct quote from Emily while we were watching the Tiffany season together. She was just like, "Tyra do what Tyra want." And like I
Yeah.
think she would just like reason with it any way she wanted to, and there was no, yeah, she might have started out wanting to break the boundaries or whatever, but yeah, she would just do whatever she wanted when it suited her.
Yeah,
And I think
it's
I feel
insane.
like honestly the real goal that all of them had, or like Tyra, Jay, and Jay, their goal on each season was just to like break these girls' egos. I feel like that was their ultimate goal. And they just like, anytime they sense any sort of like preciousness in any of the girls, they'd be like, let's target that and just try to break
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, and these girls are so young too. Like a lot of them,
So
I think at
young.
the oldest are in their early 20s.
Yeah.
So it's like the prime age for breaking,
Yeah.
basically. Yeah. One thing to talk about with um Jay Manuel is he wanted to leave allegedly, he wanted to leave, cycled 9, but then stayed. So then he sent the email. He got the email back from Tyra with just 3 words, "I am disappointed." And then they basically never talked again after that, off camera. But then Jay ended up staying for cycles 10 through 18 until he got fired. So it was like, like, I'm confused
Yeah.
basically as to what
I
actually
think
happened.
what happened was he wanted to leave, and then they were like, just stay one more season, but then at the same time they were kind of blackmailing him, and he said something like she was going to blacklist me in the industry or something. So I think he wanted to avoid that, and so that's why he stayed so many more
Mm.
seasons. Yeah.
I see. And then I guess they did kind of remove him from like being the photo shoot person,
Yeah.
right?
But also, he kind of did the same thing as Tyra, where he was like, oh, I lost creative control. But then if you had creative control, then you would have been in charge of the face swapping. But then you said you weren't in charge of that. So which one is it? Did you have creative
Yeah.
control originally or not?
Yeah, exactly. I think the whole, like, with all 4 of them, 5, including Janice Dickinson, maybe even 6, including that bald guy with the glasses, all of them, I feel like were very gatekeepy about the modeling industry in the end.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know I don't know how to describe this, like, psychological phenomena, but, like, you know when you work super, super hard to, like, get somewhere and you're breaking all these glass ceilings,
Yeah.
then there is one part of you that's like, "Why was this so hard for me? I should make it not as hard for other people." But then there's an evil part of your brain that's like, "I struggled, and so everyone after me must also struggle."
Yeah, I think it's like I think it's called like pulling up the ladder under you or something, so that it's like
Yes.
you built this
Yeah.
amazing ladder to get to the top, but then you're gonna pull it up before anyone else can come up that same ladder. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like same reason that, Indian immigrants who like come to the States in the 80s also want to just close the door behind them and like make it even harder for more people to immigrate.
That is exactly the analogy I was about to make.
Yeah, it's like so crazy to me. Okay, so one thing that I wanted to just recap was the crazy shoots
Mm.
that were there. Okay, so here are the crazy shoots that stood out to me. The race swapping. But what was even crazier than the race swapping was the fact that they did it again
Oh my
and
god, yeah.
added 3-year-olds.
Yeah, no,
That
three-year-olds
was
was the first
insane.
one.
Oh, 3-year-olds was the first one?
Yeah, and then the second one was like fusing 2 races together.
Oh, you're right. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, the fact that they did it twice, I thought was pretty crazy. The second one was like fears. So like you pose with like a tarantula or you pose with like a snake or something.
Oh yeah.
Meat suit, that was pretty crazy,
So weird.
especially as a vegan. Do you think that they did that because she was a vegan?
Yeah, absolutely.
Ugh, it's so fucked up.
Just like they made that girl Dion pose as like a gunshot victim, right?
That was
Like
my
when
next
her
one.
mother, yeah, okay, yeah, that crime scene shoot. I can't believe that's the
Yeah.
only thing that Ken Mock was like, yeah, that shouldn't have happened. It's like, yeah, well, that shouldn't have happened, but same with like all the other things that you
So
did.
many others. Yeah, so many others. Yeah, there's like that violence one, like methods of being killed, and then there was also very similarly like the drug addiction one, like the ones where like they had to pose as being
Oh,
bulimic and she had like vomit all over her. What?
oh yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy. Also the one where they were just homeless people posing with real unhoused people.
That was unhinged.
What the fuck? What the fuck? I do think when I was watching that the first time, I was like, this is so fucked up. That one I did
Yeah.
notice was fucked
Yeah. And then
up.
lastly, the 7 deadly sins, which I think on its own was fine, but the fact that they
Mhm.
were making all these fat comments about Kenya and then made her gluttony.
I know. They made her gluttony and they made her the elephant. That's like actually something I think about so often, like at least once a year, is that the poor girl, they already told her she had been gaining weight. All of her fellow models were talking about it. And then they make her be an elephant and then they make her be gluttony. It's so
So rude.
horrible.
What I did notice, though, was I thought Kenya was absolutely gorgeous after all of these years.
Dude,
Kenya could
all
get
of these
it.
models were
Dion
so
could get
freaking
it.
hot. Yeah.
Ebony could get
Danielle, I
it.
could not stop staring at Danielle. I was like, girl, what? Drop that skincare routine. Like,
Seriously, their skin was
oh
glowing.
my
And the
God.
fact that they had talked about her skin being, what was it, ashy on the
Mm-hmm.
show. Oh my God. And all of
Oh,
those
that was
white
Ebony, I
women.
think.
Oh, that was Ebony. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That was Ebony. Ugh. And then Ebony's skin was gorgeous too. And then
So gorgeous.
all of the white women being like, can you like not grease up the doorknobs? I was like, bitch. Microaggression. Yeah, I think that was Giselle who had said that, which also LOL at Giselle. Because I do remember I watched Giselle's season and I remember not liking Giselle.
I laughed at how she thought she was going to get famous or like she was going to be a supermodel from the show. And then she was like, wait, I'm fortunate to be such a bitch. And like she didn't succeed. I mean, it's very sad. It's very sad. But like it was also kind of funny that like expectations versus reality were just so different.
You know what I really laughed at? The fact that she thought she was going to be a supermodel with Comic Sans on her business card.
Yes.
That's what I picked up on.
2003, man.
I'm a font shamer. Sorry.
Oh, so
I
funny.
literally wrote not the Comic Sans on Giselle's business card. Oh, Giselle. So, yeah, okay. Can we do like a where are they now? Because my impression
Ooh.
is no one really succeeded after this show, with the exception of, I think her name was the plus size model. I forget her name.
Oh, Whitney?
Maybe it was Shannon? I think Shannon.
Was she in the docuseries or no?
I think Shannon was in the docuseries and she got second on season 1.
Oh, they had a plus size in season 1?
I don't remember. I could be confusing. Where are they now?
The Christian girl. She was not plus
Yes.
size.
Oh, okay, never mind.
But okay, there are a few that became pretty successful. Carrie D from Cycle 9, I do think became quite a successful model. I saw her face a lot like the year that she won and a few years afterwards, so I think she became pretty successful. There's this girl, Anna something from one of the cycles that got 4th place, but then ended up acting a lot and like got roles in Gossip Girl and like all these other shows. So I think she ended up like semi-successful.
Okay,
Um,
maybe let me rephrase my question. Who
oh,
actually made it as a successful model?
okay. I would say, okay, from what I can tell, only Winnie Harlow and Carrie D, but I could be wrong because I don't follow modeling
Wow.
that much.
Okay, so like 2 people out of what, 24 times 13?
Yeah, yeah.
Yikes.
But a lot of them became actors, I think. And the door was open to them because of ANTM.
Actors. Okay. Well, I think that was the point that they were trying to make, where like because they were on America's Next Top Model, which was considered a reality show and not a
Mm-hmm.
modeling show, they a lot of the modeling industry doors were actually not open to them because they were
Right.
on this show versus maybe acting was more open to them.
Yeah.
So who knows? Maybe they were able to make it as an actor. Unclear if they wanted to be an actor ultimately or if they just couldn't model. Like that door was ultimately just shut to them forever.
Yeah. Or third option is that they went on the show with the hopes of just getting into Hollywood and becoming an actor.
Possible. Maybe
Maybe for
later
later.
seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was this one girl from Cycle 19, I think the college season, that when I watched that season, it was a few years after it had come out, and I was like, "Oh, that's the girl from Crazy Stupid Love. Do you remember the babysitter from Crazy Stupid Love?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was the runner-up of Cycle 19.
What? No way.
Yeah.
Okay. That's cool. I
Yeah.
hope she I hope she wanted to be an actress and then became an actress. I hope that was the path that was taken.
I hope so too.
Okay, also, I want to talk about one of the winners, Adrienne Curry, who was the winner of the first cycle in 2003. So, where is she now? This is from a Variety.com article about where the winners are now. So, Adrienne Curry, who is the cycle 1 winner in 2003, went on to pose for magazines including Maxim and Playboy, appeared on several reality shows, married a Brady Bunch actor, married Matthew Road, selling Avon products and posting about politics from a right-wing point of view. RIP. That's
Oh,
as of 2018.
not
She took to
conservative
X
in
to share.
2018.
I know, right? Well, she lives in Montana, so I don't know. Maybe
All
that's why.
right.
So she says, this is crazy. She says, I am deeply grateful I won the first season of Top Model. I think people psychoanalyzing it over 20 years later with a woke lens is absurd. I don't trust people to not manipulate things I say for TV, so I decline everything. Also, the public is cult-like and cruel, so the last thing I want is a bunch of eyeballs on me. I hope the other girls do not have their words twisted in their Netflix show. But the day the show dropped, she tweeted this. Fun fact, I was the first woman to be sexually assaulted on Top Model. They titled the episode, Girl Deals with a Pervert. A man reached up my skirt out of nowhere on the street. 2x twice I was scolded for being so upset by it and missing a casting and was almost eliminated. Girl! What the fuck?
Oh, there's so much to unpack there. Oh my, not fun fact. Oh no. Oh
Fun
no.
fact.
God damn. Oh yeah. Wait, we also didn't talk about Kenya's like harassment on set either.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, but anyway, back to Adrienne. That's insane. Not her
Insane.
unloading this on Twitter.
I know. God.
Yikes, dude.
Yeah, so anyway, there's like a bunch of different cycle winners here. So there is Eva Marcille from Cycle
Mm.
3, 2004. I remember her.
Yeah.
She is pretty positive about Tyra. She still models, arguably one of the most successful winners of the franchise. She also has been in a lot of reality shows. I don't know if she still models though.
Mm.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's an interesting article. If you want to go check it out, just look up Variety, America's Next Top Model
Interesting.
winners. Where are they now?
Okay. Yeah, I do remember Eva's season because I remember the beginning of the season, she had like a really big temper, like did not get along with any of the other girls except for with the exception of one. Oh, I think that was the Anna season, by the way, the one that went on to act on Gossip Girl.
Oh, yeah.
And like I was like, "Oh my god, they're going to kick Eva out of the show before she can even have her first photo shoot." And then she ended up winning, and it was like such a cool transformation to see just like about her as a person, and she just kind of like gained this confidence. And so I can see why she has a positive impression of the show because I think she grew so much through being on the show.
I wonder if it's because she kind of looks like Tyra. So Tyra was like, I'm going to make her win.
It's possible.
You know what I mean?
It's
She's
very
like
possible.
a black woman with light eyes and very Anglo features.
Yeah, it's very possible. I do remember her being a very good model though. Like all of
Yeah.
her photos were stunning.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think there's something to be said about how it feels. Oh, actually, like Danielle did win in Cycle 6, so maybe that's why.
Okay, also on that, I mean, Danielle, when I watched Cycle 6, I thought Joni had by far the best photos, like, compared to anyone else that entire season. And then at the end, it was her and Danielle. And I thought Danielle had like the same face in every single photo and every single photo shoot. And then they made Danielle win. And I was like, did they just want some racial diversity? That was my theory back then.
I mean, it's possible, right? Like, they even admitted that a lot of the pictures that they used of the girls in the end, like during the judging, was not their best take. Was often not their best take. So
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if there is something about, yeah, because like even one of the girls was like, you used the worst take. Like she's like stuttering and stumbling over her words, and she was like, that's not my best take. Like there are many takes where I got the words exactly right. So I don't know what that is.
Yeah. I don't know. But anyway, I guess yappers who watched was it Cycle 6 with Joni and Danielle?
Yes.
Okay, let me know if you agree with this, if you remember, because I just remember being like, it's gotta be Joni, it's gotta be Joni. Her facial expressions are so dynamic. She does something different with every shot. She's so creative, blah, blah, blah. And like, Danielle was also, I mean, she's absolutely stunning, but I didn't think that she had the same range as Joni. And so I thought the winner was so obvious. And then I was so surprised when Joni didn't win. But anyway, not saying Danielle did not deserve it, because she is also a very good model, but I was surprised.
Yeah. Yeah. And then it was Danielle who was the one who went into the model apartment and then like didn't get any casting calls, right?
Yeah.
Ugh,
Yeah, that was
so
so
sad.
sad how Tyra just like fattened her up and sent her to the wolves and then just let her struggle on her own. So sad.
And then called her 15 years later and was like, hey, actually, remember how you did struggle? I just wanted you to know that I saw that and I also didn't do anything about it.
And I knew that was gonna happen.
Bitch.
Bitch. Such a bitch.
That's when I was like,
Ugh.
yeah, Tyra's such a narcissist.
Such a narcissist. Oh, yeah, wait, let's talk about the Tiffany scene. Arguably the most memorable scene of all time from ANTM.
What's the Tiffany scene? I don't remember it.
I was rooting for you! We were all rooting for you!
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
also, I did do a little bit of digging on that. So that was another scene where they only showed a small part of what actually happened.
Yes.
So apparently Tyra just went off on Tiffany, and after Tiffany just just leaves the room or whatever, I think I can't remember if she like posted this on Twitter or what, but she talks about it afterwards and she's like, yeah, there's no way. Like Tyra said she loved me and like that's why she was yelling at me, but the words that were said in that room were not coming from a place of love. Like you would not be calling me those names if you actually loved me.
Mm.
So I was like, oh shit, there was some name calling, there was some swears. Like that's why people were like, oh, it was so scary.
Do you know what was said? I read about it.
No, I just assumed it was like the C word or something.
Oh, no, it was just like really insulting. Like she said something like, go back and sleep on a mattress on the floor with your baby or something. Yeah. Like just
What the
so
fuck?
mean. Yeah, so fucked up. Yeah.
Damn.
Oh, the Tiffany story was so sad. I mean, I was also rooting for her. We were all rooting for her. But I like this is also why Tyra is such a narcissist, because I did not read Tiffany's reaction to getting eliminated as she does not respect where she is right now. I read it as, oh no, I'm a failure again. Like, what am I gonna do?
Yeah.
But I've been through so much way worse shit in my life that, like, I'm not gonna sit here and cry about this, because
Yeah.
not succeeding on a model TV show ranks very low on my list of traumas in life. That's how I
Yeah.
interpreted it. And then Tyra was like, how dare you yell at us? How dare you? I was like, dude, Tyra, this is not about you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like Tiffany tried to explain that too. She's like, that's why I am not angry about this. I mean, I am a little peeved off, but it's not
Yeah.
like like you said, it's not the worst thing to be angry about. Like, if I am to be angry about something, it's not this. It is all of this other shit that has happened in my life.
Yep. Oh, God.
You know who we
Poor
didn't talk
Tiffany.
about? Another memorable scene that was not talked about in the documentary at all was, I don't know her name, but that girl who like came in, like waltzed into the judging room and was like, I don't want to be here anymore. I just don't want to be here. And then then Tyra starts talking to her and she just leaves. I want to hear her story.
I remember that. So funny. Yeah, give me that girl's story.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know
so
what
good.
her story was. I don't even know what her name is, but I was like, why isn't she in this documentary? But apparently, I think there is another documentary about America's Next Top Model coming out next month. And that is why Janice Dickinson was not in this documentary, because she's in the HBO documentary that's coming out in March.
Oh my God, I can't wait. I will eat that up just like I ate this one up.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what Janice Dickinson has to say. Certified racist.
World's first supermodel.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, literally certified racist. Yes. I also wanted to see Twiggy. Do you remember Twiggy?
Who's Twiggy?
She was a model who was a judge on the first several seasons, or maybe not first, but she was there for like a big chunk of it, and she was this British model who was like a little bit older than Tyra, I think, with like
Yes,
really big
her.
beautiful eyes. Yeah, I was like, where's Twiggy?
Wow.
Maybe she'll be in the
I
HBO
thought you
one.
were talking about FKA Twiggy at first. I was like, wait, what? She was an ANTM?
Who's that?
Oh no, it's FKA Twigs. That's who
Oh.
I'm talking. That's what I'm thinking. Oops.
But yeah, I just remember Twiggy, anytime there was a girl that like could not take a bad photo because she was so photogenic, she'd just be like, the camera loves her. The camera loves
Yes.
her.
Yeah. Yeah, there were so many other like iconic judges. Oh, you know what also shocked me? Nigel Barker being half Sri Lankan. I did not know that.
Oh, I did know that. I think they talked about it very sporadically throughout the show, but it did come up like a few times. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like, why didn't he say anything about
I
the East Indian
know.
thing?
Oh, yeah, I know.
Come on, Nigel.
Also, Nigel, I was gonna say something else about Nigel. Oh, okay, you know how J. Manuel wrote a novel called like The Bitch, the Outfit. What is it called?
The still wears Prada. The bitch that wears Prada. I don't know.
The Wig, the Bitch, and the Meltdown.
Yes, that one.
Okay, so Mira, my cousin, is reading it right now, inspired by the docuseries, and a few takeaways. A, it's really terrible, like extremely terrible. B, it's extremely thinly veiled who each character is. I think Tyra's character is like Casey Cash or something, or Kyla Cash or something, like Cash Banks.
Oh my god, like Banks. Oh my god.
Yeah. And then I forgot what Nigel Barker's character's name is, but in the book, the Nigel Barker character sexually assaults the J. Manuel character.
No.
Yeah. And like obviously it's a novel, so like you don't know what's true and what's not, but like why would he put that in there? And apparently in the book he brings it up to Tyra Banks's character, and Tyra like kind of just brushes it off. So maybe it was to show that Tyra brushed things off that happened like that. But like why would you do that to Nigel if it's not true?
God.
Yeah.
Was the character's name by Joel Narker?
Yeah, you know what? I do think that was his name. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh man, that's crazy. Okay, so it's like either that did actually happen, or maybe this is kind of a long shot considering you said that it was a terrible narrative, but long shot is that it did happen to all of these other girls, and it was just showing how Tyra kind of brushed off sexual assault in general. Maybe.
Yeah. I think those are the two options. I don't know.
Thing.
I don't
Well,
know.
really hope it didn't happen.
Yeah.
But if it did, not surprising that Tyra Cash brushed it off.
Yes. Agreed. Speaking of the Jays and Nigel, I was so sad to see that Miss J. Alexander had a stroke.
Yeah, and Tyra still hasn't visited him.
Dude, that was crazy. So crazy. And sent him a text right before, like, I think she sent a text because she knew that he was gonna talk about it on the docuseries.
Yeah, he may not be able to walk, but his facial expressions, they go the extra mile.
Bombastic side eye.
Yes. The eyes. Oh, the eyes.
Oh, I love Miss J. He
Yeah.
was also
Actually,
very mean to the girls at times, but I do love
yes.
him.
Yes. I think they were very, like, maybe this was just the modeling industry that they were just like supposed to be mean, but they did have a heart sometimes, I will say. Like they showed one scene where they brought in, was it a psychic as to act like a therapist basically.
Yeah.
And I think Shandy was like crying about it, and then they showed Miss J kind of just hugging her, and I was like,
Oh,
that's kind of sweet.
cute. Yeah, that's sweet.
None of the other girls hugged her.
Damn.
Anyway.
Rude.
And then the other thing that I wish they had spent more time on was there was one line in the documentary where Miss J and Jay Manuel were saying how they were like walking around with Tyra in New York, and like some random person was like, "Oh my God, is that Beyonce?" And then the other girl that was with her was like, "No, it's not Beyonce, it's Tyra, because look, those are the Jays." So it's like Tyra only got recognized because the Jays were with her. And then they didn't really spend too much time on that, which I was like, ooh, I want to hear more about how that manifested, but I guess we kind of saw how that manifested.
Yeah. Yeah. She started power tripping.
Yeah. I wonder if the
Uh,
timeline like lines up
mm,
with
with them
the
getting
whole
cut out of the
breakup.
show. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
interesting. I don't know. I thought that maybe, for some reason, I thought that happened much earlier. But, like, maybe happened before Jay. It must have happened before Cycle 9, right? Because that's when Jay and Tyra stopped talking.
Yeah. I do think the whole timeline around this show is a little bit crazy. Like there is so much time that goes on between some defining event and then the consequences of the said defining event.
Hmm.
Like, for example, the fact that Jay Manuel stays on for another 9 cycles after he tells Tyra that he wants to leave. That's a little crazy.
I think he was being held hostage. Like, she was like, I will end your career if you leave. And he was like, okay.
And then she ended his career 9 cycles later.
Yes. Yes.
Great. What was interesting though is that Nigel Barker seemed to kind of succeed afterwards and keep doing photography.
Mm. Yeah.
Jay Manuel afterwards just started doing more America's Next Top Model, but in different countries. And
Oh,
it
did he?
seems the same for Miss J. Well, he is the Canadian host of CNTM, I
Canadian.
guess.
Oh. Oh, cool.
Yeah, Canadian TV host, featured as the host of Canada's Next Top Model.
Hmm. Cool.
Oh, I thought another crazy thing that happened was they did the freaking heights and weights of the models and then put their height and weight on the screen.
Oh my God. Traumatizing. Like, literally end me.
Did you see that there was a 5'10" woman who weighed 114 pounds?
That's so horrifying. That's so sad.
That is insane. For any person who's listening to this who does not know how crazy that is, I am a 4'11" and a half woman. I am not overweight by any means. And I weigh like more than that. And that's all I'll say. Yes. 1 foot taller than me. And I weigh more than that.
Yeah, fair enough.
The other story, like kind of going back to the very beginning when they were talking about how to what was it? When they were talking about the initial casting, they were like, "Oh, we really wanted this Latina girl to join." But then the executive producer was like, "No." And so they had to go searching again. I want to hear her story too. What was wrong with having a Latina girl? Because they obviously had way more Latina girls in future seasons. So what was
Yeah.
what was wrong with that girl?
I was also really confused by that because then they got Giselle, who was Latina.
Yes. I'm confused.
I
That
don't
story
know.
was like, there's something else here that I want to look into, but then I didn't get any answers.
Maybe what happened was like they were like, "Oh, we really want this Latina girl," and then racist head of UPN was like, "No." So then they were like, "Okay, we got to find a white passing Latina girl," and then they got Giselle, whose last name is Sampson. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. But anyway, I wish we had gotten more about that. Maybe that was part of the documentary that they ended up cutting. Who knows? And then I also wanted to talk more about the fact that they made Danny close the gap a little bit, and then in the next season widened the gap of one girl.
That was crazy. What the fuck is going on? I love Danny's gap.
Yeah, it was so cute. I
So
also was
cute.
really impressed by it at such a young age. She was like, this thing that makes me quote unquote imperfect is something that I love and I want to keep.
Yeah,
I was really impressed with that.
Me too. I would not have been that, like, I would not have that fortitude to have
Me
that strong of
either.
an opinion.
Yeah, I think if I were a young girl and someone came up to me and was like, hey, we can like, laser away these like flyaways of yours, or we can like give you a nose job, or we can like change your bone structure or whatever, I would be like, hell yeah, let's do it.
I know, same.
I would not have the mental fortitude to embrace my flaws. And I guess that is what happened with the girl in the snaggletooth. She was like, oh yeah, I thought I won the lottery. Her teeth did look good, but yeah, I guess there was a lot of other like structural, foundational orthodontist issues that they did not fix. So
it sounds like they didn't do anything helpful. They just like removed the problems but did not fix anything.
Yeah. Which, yeah, and who knows. Anyway, I think that's kind of all I wanted to talk about. Just I guess the ending. I loved the ending about Tyra being like, yeah, hold me accountable for my shit. Cause when it comes time to hold you accountable for your shit, like you need to take ownership too. And then she kind of was like talking to the camera, like clearly thinking that this was gonna be the ending of the documentary. And then they were just like, beep, like we're gonna go, like that's bullshit. Like we're gonna go talk to all these other models and see where they are now.
That was so funny. I was like, Tyra, you really think you did something there?
She thought she cooked. She thought she cooked. You know what else she thought she cooked on? The hot ice cream store.
Oh my god. Oh yeah, we didn't talk about her ice cream store.
And the fact that, wait, who else had an ice cream store? One of the models. Whitney. Yeah, Whitney had the ice cream store and was like, I had it first.
Yeah.
Would you ever have hot ice cream?
What is it?
It's hot ice cream, Shalini. I don't need to explain to you.
I mean, listen, I love sugar in any form, so let's be honest, I probably will enjoy it, but
so I was like I was talking to Andrew and I was like, oh yeah, you know what's super dumb is that Tyra has this hot ice cream store. Isn't it so stupid? Isn't it just milk? And he was like, well, actually, hot ice cream is sweeter than like normal ice cream. And I was like,
Shut
that's not
the
the point.
fuck up, Andrew.
Don't actually me right now.
Oh my god. It's so unnecessary, Andrew.
So unnecessary. Anyway, I think this is all just an advertisement for her hot ice cream store, which I think
And
is in Australia and New
yeah.
York.
And perhaps also an advertisement for ANTM Cycle 25? Question mark. She kind of threw that in there too. She's like, just wait until you see what I have for you in Cycle 25. And then it was also like, beep.
Yeah, that's true. Ugh. Will you be watching Cycle 25 of ANTM?
I kind of don't want to, just to be in solidarity with the victims of this show, you know?
You kind of don't want to.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Your audio cut out at a very important key.
Oh no.
I was like, what? I heard I kind of want to in order to be in solidarity with the victims. I was like, what? Okay, yeah. I think what will happen is I will watch the clips online if there are any, but I will not be watching directly.
Let me know if there are any good clips on there.
Probably just forward them to you on Instagram.
I don't have Instagram anymore.
Really? Okay, well, in that case,
yeah.
Maybe I won't.
Okay, sounds good.
Great.
Yeah, I deleted it off my phone and I blocked it from the browser on my phone as well. So
what about your computer?
On my computer, I can log in, but I rarely do. You know what? If you tell me to check them, I will.
God damn it. Shalini, be resolute. Okay, so I guess ratings, if nothing else.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Enjoyment? I'd probably say 4 out of 5. Like, it was very engaging. It was really, like, nostalgic to relive the drama that was America's Next Top Model from the early 2000s through the 2010s. Quality, like 3? 2? Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it was low quality, I guess, so maybe I'll give it a 3. I think they could have dug deeper in several places, so I'll give it a 3. Like, it was good enough, and I loved to get the girls' point of view on a lot of things that I remember from the show, but I do think they could have spent more time. Honestly, they could have turned it into, like, a 10-part docuseries, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so I'll stick to
one
a
per
3.
cycle, 1 per year.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'll do the same, actually. So quality 3 out of 5, and then enjoyment probably like a 4 out of 5. So 7 total. That seems right.
Okay.
I'm cool with that.
Cool.
And enjoyed watching it. Definitely like moved from episode to episode very quickly. And I loved the ending and the overall narrative, but agree they could have drilled down a little bit more. I definitely had a lot of questions still left unanswered.
Yes.
At the end.
Yes. Oh, I loved that Kenya, when they did like a little "Where Are You Now" thing at the end, Kenya's thing was like, oh, I help girls like understand positive body image and stuff. Or I don't remember exactly what she said, but it was something around that, which was so beautiful.
Yeah.
So full circle.
Kenya. Oh, love Kenya.
I love Kenya. Yeah. Oh my god, wait. One thing I randomly remembered from Kenya's season, and the 7 Deadly Sins photo shoot was that, I don't know if this was on purpose, but that photo shoot, you know how they were all in coffins as one of the 7 Deadly Sins? It was like days after one of the girls, Kaylin or something? Yeah, I think her name was Kaylin, had found out that her friend died. And they made them pose in coffins.
Dude, that's so fucked up.
So fucked up. So fucked up. Oh my God. Also, I just remember. Oh yeah, these are the things I wanted to talk about with the photo shoots. There was also this one photo shoot where there was this girl. Oh no, I'm forgetting her name. I think it started with a Y. Yaya, maybe. Yeah, I think her name is Yaya.
I
Do you remember
remember
Yaya?
Yaya.
And
Yes.
she kind of had like her skin was kind of uneven textured, and they criticized her one week, and then the next week they did a photo shoot with zero makeup. I was like, guys, come on, that's so mean. So mean.
They were just trying to, yeah, they were just
Yeah,
trying to
trying to break
find
these girls.
wounds and then take a finger covered in salt and jam it in there. That's what they were trying
Yeah.
to do.
Yeah.
And film
Oh
the
yeah,
reaction.
Yaya was also an actress in some movie. Yeah, I think she's been in movies.
She was also on Beyonce's album. That song, Yeah, yeah.
She's also featured in Kendrick's song when he goes, yeah, yeah.
She's arguably the most successful in the music industry.
Even Ariana Grande samples her when she goes, yeah, yeah.
Well, that's yeah, yeah, not to be confused with
Oh, sorry.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, erasure. Sorry.
yeah. Okay, well, would you, given our lukewarm rating, would you recommend, who would you recommend watch this documentary?
I would absolutely recommend it for people that watched ANTM growing up. For people that didn't, I don't think it's necessary.
Yeah, I would 100% agree with that qualifier.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Should we move on to Binge in Progress?
Yeah. I am watching this show that we almost did for this podcast, called How to Get to Heaven from Belfast. And it's really funny. You watched Dairy Girls, right?
Yes. Love
Okay,
Dairy
yeah.
Girls.
Oh my God, yeah, so good. Yeah, so it's hilarious and I'm really enjoying it. And I started Pluribus, which you know because I messaged you a lot of things about it at like
Yes.
8 a.m. yesterday, Saturday morning.
And I felt a lot of validation because you had a problem with the
Time cards!
time cards.
Did you agree with my criticism in Pluribus?
I agree. Yeah, because I
Okay.
also struggled a lot when they put up the timer because while it was consistent, it was not very easy to understand at first glance if it was before or after.
Yeah, it's like we have to look at the left for how many days, and then we have to look at the right to see if it's before or after. It's like, just say blah, blah, blah days before, blah, blah, blah days after. Like, come on, it's not that hard.
Yeah, or like add a negative or something. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, yeah, I agree with you. Time cards
Thank you.
really makes a difference. That's all I'm gonna say. I feel like I always say that's all I'm gonna say about the time cards, and then like I keep talking about it.
That's just an introduction into what you're gonna say.
Exactly. And that is what I will say about time cards for now. 2
Nice.
days later. Oh man. Okay, what am I watching? I still watching Love is Blind. So just an update on where we are with the different couples. Chris and Jessica have exploded. So I think we ultimately ended saying yes to Chris and Jessica, and they are a complete no.
I'm pretty sure my exact words were 100,000 bajillion % yes.
Oh my God. Oh, how embarrassing.
I know, it's aged so poorly. So poorly.
So I feel like I should go back to my first instincts because I actually Okay, I don't know for yappers who see this on video, I have a lot of like, yes, crosses out, no, and like vice versa. So I feel like I should just go back to my first instincts. So just for the sake of trying to be as right as possible,
We
I'm
love
gonna
being
go
right.
back. Okay, so Victor and Christine, I said yes, exclamation mark. And then like no other qualifiers. Devontae and Brittany, I originally did put yes, and then I crossed out and put no, but my original guess is yes. And then Connor and Bree, I said no. Chris and Jessica, originally I said no. Jordan and Amber, I said no. Emma and Mike, originally I said no. And Ashley and Alex originally said no, then yes, then crossed out and said no. So I think in the last episode I did end up with the no, but my original answer was no.
I feel like she hates him.
I think she'll say no at the altar. Yeah. But yes, apparently there was another season of Love is Blind that they were going to do that they had actually filmed before or something. I don't know. They had filmed something in Austin. And so I think that there was an Austin season that was supposed to come out during this time. But apparently that show, or like that season, was not very optimistic. And this Ohio season is more optimistic. So especially after last season, which was Denver, which was very negative, no one ended up together. They couldn't do another negative season. So I think that's why they're doing the Ohio season and then they will do Austin after.
I thought they already did an Austin season.
I think you may be thinking of 20-somethings in Austin.
No. Maybe I'm thinking of the Houston season.
Yeah, they did a couple shows in Texas already. They did Houston and Dallas.
Oh, Dallas and Houston. Okay, I thought it was Austin and Houston. Okay.
Yeah, they did Dallas and Houston already. So this would be their third Texas show.
Oh my God. I remember after the second Texas season, people were like, leave Texas alone.
Yeah. I mean, Texas is so big. I remember I had to fly from Dallas to Houston once, and I was like, "What? This is probably going to be like an hour-long flight," and it was like 2 hours or like 3 hours or something, and I was like, "What?"
Damn. I guess like from one Texas bordering state to another, you're basically going from the west to the east of the United States, right?
Yeah.
Because Texas is so fat.
Dallas to Houston. Oh yeah, Dallas to Houston is about an hour and 14 minutes. Okay, so maybe I thought it was going to be like 20 or 30 minutes, and then it was an hour and 14, and I was like, what?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Interesting. Anything else?
Oh, next week. Here's what's coming up next, Yappers. On February 26th, Bridgerton Part 2 will be released. So we know for a fact that our next Monday episode is going to be on Bridgerton. And Shalini will be in Aspen. So it'll just be me and Sarah Hahn, who I think has done an episode or has not. Has not.
No,
oh,
she has not.
Okay. Yappers, you'll finally get to meet Sarah Hahn.
The one who yelled at us to watch Heated Rivalry.
Yeah. I think we've brought her up a couple of times in this podcast, so you'll get to finally meet the one and only Sarah. But yeah, great.
Yay.
Well, see you next week for Bridgerton.
Yay! Thanks for yapping with us. If you loved this episode, have some hot takes we missed, or if you've got a show you're dying for us to binge next, follow us on socials. We're at Binge Yap Repeat.
Until next time, happy binging!